Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Brienne with TwinFlameUnionWithin.com. It's been a while since I made a video. I think the last one that I made, I was talking about my fear of flying. I really don't remember. I just know it was about flying. Yeah, and it's been a while since then. So I did fly. I went to Toronto, Canada, and I met with my Twin Flames Universe family and my soul family. When I went to get on, like I had to work through, well, first of all, this video, I wanted to talk about like the power of surrender while on your twin flame journey. Because it's literally what it is you're surrendering into your union. Your union is not a destination. It's not something that you get to. It's a state of being, and you surrender into that state of being. And that's what everyone's journey is about, is surrender. And for me, a big part of my journey has been letting go of control. So much, like there's been so many areas of my life that I didn't even realize I was controlling. It just seemed like, and I'll get into that more, but it just seemed like you don't even know that it's there until it's revealed to you, right? And one of those ways it was revealed to me was like, well, just to backtrack, even before the flying. So whenever I joined the school, I was working at a factory. I worked there for 11 years. And I joined Twin Flame Ascension School and was a member of Life Purpose class with Jeff and Shalia. And Life Purpose class is all about assisting you in manifesting your purpose. And your life purpose, God created everyone with a purpose. And you're meant to live your purpose with your twin flame. So that's a big part of the journey, because it's your union and your purpose, it's one and the same. Because in your life purpose, you're essentially being yourself. You're just living a life the way that you were created to live it. So yeah, in being a member of the school and life purpose class, God guided me to quit my job. And I have a house with a mortgage, I have a car payment, I have bills that that need to be met. And this was back in the beginning of 2018. But so I really took a leap of faith in doing that and trusting my heart. And you always follow the good feeling, even if it makes no sense whatsoever. Follow the good feeling in your heart, because that good feeling is guiding you into your union. It's a surrendering into your union. Even if it makes no sense outside, on an outside, like anyone else looking at me, like, Brienne, you're quitting your job, your long-term job. You're just up and quitting, and you have all of these bills to be paid, all of these things that need to be met. And I did. I quit my job, and I never looked back. And I've been cared for, supported ever since, in following my heart. And my life has only gotten better and better and better in doing that. In your journey, a big part of it too is not only surrender, but faith. Just having faith that you will be supported when God guides you to take that next step. You trust that, and you have faith, and you take that step. And every single time in taking that step, you're shown through an experience that it was safe, and you're supported in choosing love. So yeah, my very first huge step was quitting my job back in 2018. And then another huge step for me was the airplane, because I had had a childhood trauma, and I swore to myself that I would never step on a plane ever again. I thought, well, I'll just stay in the United States, or maybe I'll take a boat somewhere, but I was never going to fly. And I worked through my fears with the mirror exercise, which is the tool that Jeff and Shalia teach. It's the only tool you need to manifest your union. to come into harmonious union and maintain your union with your twin flame. So with this teaching and the support of other coaches, I'm a coach myself, but I also hire coaches. We all support one another. I moved through these fears and I was able to get on the plane. I flew on four different planes, 2 on the way there, 2 on the way back. The first one that I got on, there was a nice young man that sat with me at the airport, and it kind of, I knew that God placed him there. It was the airport here in Fort Smith is very quiet because it's a small town. It's not really a big city. So it was just me and him, and there was some other people that came in after, but I knew that God had placed him there to just someone to talk to and share with. And he's a frequent flyer. So he was sharing with me his experiences of flying on a plane and how it's no big deal. And that really calmed me down as well. Because I was still moving through those fears of just stepping onto the plane. But I did. And by the time I got off the first plane, I felt very confident. When I got on the second plane, it was a little bit of nerves, but it quickly fell away and I relaxed. By the time I got to Toronto, it was around 11:11. That's when my plane landed, was 11:11 that night. I felt so proud of myself because I moved through that fear and I actually did it. I conquered it. And then on the way back home, like 4 days later, after I spent beautiful time with all of my family, and too, while we were there was 7 harmonious unions all together. Like, it was a huge surprise. Like, I think there was 3 in one day, 3 harmonious unions. If you're not a part of our open forum, I invite you to join that. I'll actually provide a link below. You can see, get more acquainted with this body of work, and you can see the harmonious unions and others that are coming into union with their twin flames through the mirror exercise and this teaching. But so yeah, it was a beautiful surprise. And then on my flight on the way home, I felt very confident. I really didn't even have any nervousness to getting on the plane. I felt actually kind of excited about it. It felt like a ride. And a nice little surprise in there too is you'll experience miracles in your life. When you surrender and you move through your fears, you experience miracles. And a little miracle that I experienced was on my first flight home from Toronto to Atlanta, Georgia. They upgraded me to a comfort seat because I had chosen economy. Keep in mind, like, I haven't flown since I was 7 years old, so I just chose whatever, which was economy. That's a basic one. But I was upgraded to a seat more towards the front of the plane in a comfort seat. And I took it. I knew God was moving through them to upgrade me in this way. And it was a very comfortable seat. I had more leg room. The seat was cozier. It had more cushion. It was definitely a different experience as far as just being comfortable. Yeah, it was just, I really enjoyed my ride home. And in fact, when I got home, I moved through this fear and I was like, oh my gosh, because I was so used to driving everywhere, right? If you watch my previous videos, back in the end of 2018, I drove to New York and I experienced like a lot of contrast, like bad weather. It took me 3 days to get there. I got bad weather on the way back. So I was always used to driving everywhere. And it really wore on me. Like it required a lot of energy to drive. And it was a leaking of energy because it's not something that I really wanted to do. And when you're doing something that is out of alignment with who you are, you're going to feel tired because you're leaking all of your energy. So anyways, when I got back home, I started researching other places that I can go. I live in Arkansas, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can fly to Florida. It's like a little over 2 hours. And I could just like spend the weekend in Florida on the beach in Pensacola or something. So like all these ideas, and I feel free in a sense. Like I feel free from my fear. Um, I feel free in knowing that I can, if I wanted to do that, I could do that. I could just book a plane ticket and go to Florida. And that feels very, that just feels really good. I don't desire to do that right now, but I know that that is available. Versus like driving there would take me 12 to 13 hours. Not and I'd be driving myself, so it would be exhausting. Plus, like stopping at hotels on the way if I needed to, and it'd be extra money. So, anyways, um, I'm officially a flyer now. I will never drive like that again. I will always fly, and I feel very supported in flying. Um, yeah, and just things have shifted and changed every single time I surrender into a lesson or I surrender and move through a fear. Um, the latest thing that I wanted to share with you was so back to my pattern of control. I've always been a hard worker, and when I earn money, I save it. I like to save. But in saving, I tend to hoard as well, meaning I'll have a good amount in my checking account, a comfortable amount, but then I hold on to it because I fear that if I spend out of that too much, that it won't be replaced, which is a lie. That's just a lack consciousness that I'm healing and moving through. Because in truth, all of God's children are abundant. And when you're living your life purpose and you're in alignment with your truth, your abundance naturally flows to you in many ways. So, something I've been recently working through, and I had a session with a coach in Twin Flames Universe, and we worked through my money blocks. And it really helped. And recently, it's been like one thing after another. So in my kitchen, my refrigerator, the ice maker quit working, and the refrigerator, I've been in this house since 2008. So everything is the original appliances, and over time they have wear and tear, and they just naturally quit working. So my refrigerator, the ice maker, quit working a while back ago. So I'll either buy bags of ice or I have ice trays, and then I'll fill it up with and all of that stuff it's like wasted energy. It's things that I don't want to do, but I'm doing it because the ice maker itself is broken. And that's another thing, another video I can get into, but your energy is precious, and anything that you're doing that doesn't feel good to you, it's a leak of energy when you could be investing that into your union in another way. And you always want to serve yourself and support yourself in ways that do feel good to you. And this is something that you gradually perfect as you're moving along on your journey. So anyways, that can be another video. Going back to the ice maker. So yeah, filling up the tray, waiting for the sink to fill the cubes up, like that just gets old. I know it's something very minute, but it gets old because I love to drink ice water, so I'm constantly getting ice cubes. But anyways, and the refrigerator itself, it makes a really funny loud noise, just because it's getting old. My dishwasher makes a hissing noise, and there's a line it's either clogged or between the garbage disposal that's hooked into the sink and the dishwasher itself. There's something not working right, and the dishwasher hisses and it makes really loud noises. So it's kind of on its last leg. My microwave over my stove, it just quit working flat out. So I had to go buy a microwave at Walmart, and I got one of the cheaper ones. So it takes like twice the amount of time to heat up my food versus the microwave that I did have that was powerful. Heated up my food a lot quicker. Once again, these are very minute things, but it is like a waste of energy when it's something that could when you could be serving yourself and if you have that support and you can support yourself in that way, right? Because now I've been using a microwave where I heat up the food, you gotta take it out, check it, or there's a cold spot in the food, and then I gotta move around on the plate. It's just all these little things that are just unnecessary that it's like, I'm not having that. Um, and then what else was it? Oh, my stove. So probably about 3 weeks ago, I was heating up something on the stove in the front burner, and I took the pot off and I moved it to the back burner, and I have an electric range, and I turned it off, and I noticed that the range just kept getting redder and redder. And normally it shuts off, and the element shuts down, right, and cools off. But it wasn't doing that. It just kept. It would I don't know if you have an electric range, you know how it does. Like, it lights up bright orange, and then it continuously to heat it up, and then it'll soften down and then heat up again. But it wasn't doing that. It was just staying bright red and hot. And so I Googled it and realized that it's broken. They said that after a while, there's a little piece in the back of the stove that will burn out, and you've got to replace it. So I had to actually drag the stove out from the wall and climb behind it and unplug the entire thing just to make it shut off. And so I've actually still got that pulled out from the wall right now, and I've got it plugged in, but I can only use the burners that work right now. So, so all of this stuff in my kitchen, and God has been telling me, like, upgrade, like it's time for an upgrade. Like, and naturally, as you're healing, your vibration rises within yourself, and your environment is going to reflect that back to you. So the upgrades within myself, it's also time to upgrade outside, in my reality as God guides it, right? And I'm always very, like, I check in constantly. Like, when God gives me guidance, like, I'm very, are you sure about that? Sure about that? You sure about that? Like, I have to have constant confirmation within my heart before I finally, like, because I always want to make sure that I'm making the right choice. And if there's anything that feels slightly off, then I have to check in and heal that, and get clear in my heart. So yeah, so my kitchen is a complete, it's just a mess right now. Like, everything is being replaced. So anyways, back to the money situation. So yeah, I've healed through a lot of upsets with that. And so this evening, I got online and I ordered, instead of hoarding that money, I decided to invest it in myself and supporting myself. So I bought a bundle. I got a new refrigerator, a new dishwasher, a new electric range stove, and a new microwave. And that will all be delivered next week, a couple days before my birthday. So I'm excited about that. I'm still moving through the feelings of, that was like $3,000 wiped out of my bank account. But at the same time, it feels good because you want to surrender in all areas of your life and let God move through you. And the way that my coach described it today to me is like, with me holding on to that money in my bank account, and fearing that if I spend it, it won't be replaced. Well, that's essentially telling the universe that, don't replace it. Like, because I'm putting out that belief, right? Like, I've got to keep this because it's not going to be replaced. And the universe is going to honor your beliefs, always. So if you have a belief running in the background of lack consciousness, or I'm not going to be supported if I spend this money, well, then your outer reality is going to mirror that back to you, and you stay stuck. You stay in a pattern. And I've been in this pattern for a long time. So now I've chosen to move through it and heal it. And once again, it may seem like, well, Brianne, what does this have to do with your twin flame union? Well, it has everything to do with my twin flame union, because your twin flame is your mirror. And although my twin may not be experiencing the same things in his reality, that same pattern of control is within him. So as I'm letting go of control, my twin flame is letting go of that control as well. And in whatever way that looks in his reality, it doesn't matter. It's going to be different. But at the core, we're releasing that control, and that allows us to surrender into our union, right? We're both letting go of the things that do not serve us. We're both moving through these fears that have kept us trapped for so long. Because in your union, you're meant to be free. You're meant to have fun. Your union is abundant. Your union is rich, and you've got to align to that richness. And no union is different from another. Now, in the uniqueness of it, yes, that's going to be different because your design is different. But the richness and the love and the passion and the connection, all unions have those same, has that same thing, but you got to surrender into that. And that involves letting go of control, letting go of patterns, letting go of beliefs that no longer serve you. You essentially just let go of everything that is not in alignment with the truth of who you are. And then you wake up to your twin flame union, which is your natural state of being. It's here and now. It's not in the past. It's not in the future. It's right here and right now. And you relax into it by letting go of your patterns. And yeah, something else too, just to add in there is, I'm a Virgo, and I always manifest physical symptoms. If I'm not in alignment if I'm not in alignment in a place in my life, I manifest a physical symptom. And once I move through the upset, then the physical symptom seems to fade away. So if you were watching my videos a while back ago, like I had some tooth problems. And that was me like essentially uprooting fears and controls. And now my mouth is healed. I had to have a lot of dental work done on this side, but it's healed. I'm so much better now. So my latest physical symptom was my knees. Both of my knees have been hurting. And what God was telling me from that is like, well, you're resistant to moving forward. And sure enough, like I've been dealing with hurt knees for like the last week, and waking up in the middle of the night and they just ache. And so after I made that purchase tonight to upgrade my kitchen and support myself in that way, love myself in that way, my knees have quit hurting, like the stiffness, it's quit hurting. I also had energy healing work with another coach, my soul brother, today as well. So it's like all of these things, like me claiming my support. This physical symptom has faded. My knees feel really good right now. So yeah, that was just my resistance to moving forward and what God was guiding me to do. And I was creating a lot of a grief for myself that I didn't need to do, which I did, because I don't know, because I guess it takes me a while sometimes to let go of what's not serving me, which I am getting better at. Yeah. So it's going to feel really good and more efficient on my energy just to be able to go to the refrigerator and put my cup underneath and have the ice cubes pop out. Or when I go to heat my food up, I have a working microwave where I just pop it in and it's going to heat it up correctly. I won't have cold spots in my food. I can go cook some food on my stove and not worry about the burner not turning off and then have to scoot the entire thing away from the wall. I can wash my dishes without a huge loud squeaky noise. Like, yeah. Trying to think if I covered everything. Yeah, I guess just most importantly, follow your heart. Like, God created your union. God put desires in your heart, and God will show you the way to manifest those desires. But you got to follow it. And it is going to feel scary at times. Like, there's going to be upsets that you encounter that you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'd gladly let go of this. And then there's going to be upsets that you encounter where it's like, oh, I don't know about that. But you trust and you move through it anyways. And on the other side of that, you're going to have deeper peace. Your reality is going to shift to mirror that to you. You're going to be happy, and it only gets better. Your life will only get better from here. Yeah. I think I feel complete here. Yeah. And if you desire to work with a coach in assisting you to manifest your harmonious union, you can reach out and schedule a consultation with me. My website is twinflameunionwithin.com. I'll also add the link to our Twin Flames Universe open forum if you'd like to join that and just kind of look around and get a feel. You can do that. There's so much support to assist you with your union, and you don't have to do it alone, and that's not fun anyways. Like, you're always doing it with God, but you have your brothers and your sisters to help you as well. So yeah, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment below. And thank you very much for watching. Bye.